during today's session, what I want to do is to show you the difference when we visualize a graph generated with Visual Studio versus when we generate a graph using Jupyter Notebook. I previously typed the code, and I really don't want to go deep into all the code because this is not the purpose, but I'm going to give you an overview to understand the graph. Now, we have the libraries that we require to manipulate the data frame and also to generate the graph. And we load a file that contains meteorological data. And the columns that we are going to be using for that are the station, which correspond to the name of the station, which could be Aeroparque Las Lomitas Rio Grande. But for this, we are going to use Aeroparque Aéreo. We are going to use the column date to identify the date in which we got a maximum temperature for this station. And let's go back to Visual Studio. We generate our variables to store the values. We apply a filter just to filter the information that corresponds to Aeroparque, means the maximum temperature. And then we have the information that corresponds to the graph. Now let's, before. We assign a title for that graph as maximum temperature, AP, Aeroparque. X label will be date, Y label will be maximum, and this is it. Let's just sorry. Let's just call it. This is the terminal where we execute or we run this file, and here we got the graph, maximum temperature. Then we have the maximum temperature. Then we have on the x-axis we have dates. Means that for this date we got this maximum temperature, and same for every one of these. So this is the way in which we can visualize a graph by using Visual Studio. But now let's compare. So here we go. We are in Jupyter Notebook at the same scenario. I previously typed the code. I include the file that I showed you. And we defined the variables. We apply the filter just to display the information that corresponds to Aeroparque. And here it's the code that corresponds to the graph. Now let's run it and visualize that. Here we got our graph. Well, in Visual Studio, we display an additional window which contains all this graph. Here in the same Jupyter interface, we work with our code, and we can visualize in a, I consider that in a cleaner way, the graph, and in which we could continue modifying. In conclusion, I could say that both looks good to me. I think that it's a preference. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me in YouTube as Science, but also you can find me on LinkedIn as Marce Martinez. And see you on the next videos.